All right, and we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mouse Clicks and Joysticks E3 edition. We are going to talk about the Microsoft conference. We're going to first start with the EA conference because that's a quick blurb. If you need like separate opinions, I'm sure my boy Joysticks has his own somewhere, and I have a video up on my personal channel, so we'll link you to that stuff if you need to actually just sit and listen to people expound on EA's conference, which me personally, I don't know. Also, can you do me a favor, sir?
Yeah.
Could you pull up the channel link so if we get any live comments? Because Comcast is fucking with me right now, and I don't need to like open up a second stream and end up having.
All right. Let me.
Dude,
it's time to work with 3 monitors. 1 second. Got to get everything.
You have the.
I got the chat pulled up
now. Okay, cool. Thank you. First we're gonna start with EA really quick, even though it's not in the title. I'll change the title. It's fine. But EA kicked off E3 2018 with EA Play, which is their now annual conference / public event where they do their conference and then they have a pretty much week of public gaming for people who show up for free. You can show up to their venue and play whatever they have on display. No tickets needed, which is a cool thing. Good way of doing things to try to like promote your games. But we're going to focus on the conference itself. And sir, what did you think of EA's conference in short first before we go into
in 2 sentences? It is what I would like to call an average conference. They did the bare minimum and maybe went a little bit above. It was an okay conference.
Yeah, me too. I guess, you know, I could say it in 3 words. It was all right. It wasn't anything that like set the world on fire, but it was all right. I think me and you are going to probably bump heads near the end, but
I've already realized reading the internet that I am apparently being pretty generous to EA for their conference, but yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Actually, no, I mean, I'm more generous too, but at the same time, this is, I think
this talking about the last thing that he talked about.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing. But yeah, overall, the conference, I'm like, last night I was just like, yo, what the fuck is up? Why are you people going nuts over their conference? Like, literally, if you guys don't know, everybody in the gaming industry and gamers, it seems, thought EA did the most offensive thing they could ever do to gamers by putting on that conference that they put on this year.
Well, EA did a couple of, like, I found out later there were a couple of things that EA did that were kind of dickish. So since before we get into what was shown at the show, what wasn't shown, Skate 4.
Okay, I get it. That guy who worked on Skate, he made this like weird troll tweet. Mind you,
no, not even just that. EA for the first time in years turned on the Skate 3 servers again a few days.
Oh yeah, I was going to get to that too.
Which is such a dick. Like, you literally you revive a dead game to be like, hey, guess what? We're not bringing back.
I don't think that's a dick move. I think that's just them like trying to see, like, wait, let's really gauge the fucking interest, and then we'll make a decision because we don't know if they're working on a Skate for them to actually be able to show us it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sure it was like no more than them gauging your interest and trying to figure out whether or not you really want. Because let's be honest, we know the internet, we know gamers in particular. They always say they want something, and then when they get it, they realize they don't really want it.
I mean, because when we get to Microsoft, they basically got what they asked for yesterday today. But people are more mad that it's not the name of the thing that they wanted.
Right. But it's just like, you really have to like chill out with that shit. It's one thing to want something, but you can't necessarily hope that they like bring it as soon as you scream, "I want it." And
Yeah,
it's a lot more to it than just like, "Oh, I heard you, I'm gonna do it." Bam.
it's like one of those. It's like most beta tests nowadays, which are more of stress tests than beta tests, where people think that, hey, this is like 2 weeks before a game comes out, like they're gonna somehow redefine, rebalance, remake an entire portion of the game that may be like in a complete, like a central pillar of it within like that 2 week period. When in reality, it's more like, hey, what do we fix in the first patch? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks after launch comes out. Like, it's the idea of, for all y'all know, maybe at Gamescom we get Skate 4 because y'all really showed out that y'all really want Skate 4. But I'm trying to think, what else didn't we see based on the rumors? We didn't see a new Dragon Age game.
Which BioWare has bigger fish to fry right now. Understandable.
I will still say we didn't. We don't care about the new Star Wars. We'll get to that. That I have a lot of feelings about that. There are a couple of things that were pretty bad in EA's conference, but not.
Let's just start now and go down the line.
Yeah, let's just start from the top. Just run it.
All right. So, what was the first thing that they showed at E3? Well, of course, they had the sizzle, because you gotta have the sizzle. Can't start without the sizzle trailer. And then let me see, because I have to go through this. I crazy. Yesterday and today, anybody who follows me at Black Vegas on Twitter, I apologize if you're annoyed by the like ridiculous amounts of tweets.
Yeah.
that I put out, but it's fucking E3, god damn it. This is like, the gaming Super Bowl, the gaming holiday. This is like, think about like if you fucking were watching the NBA finals going nuts. If this is us.
All right, so they started off with their cash cow, which was Battlefield 5.
What's the first one?
They showed up multiplayer, and
they though?
Yes. Some of the gameplay from the trailer that they played. They actually released
because
they released the live feed of it later.
Okay, so they had to show just the gameplay, because I was like, is that really the gameplay? Okay.
So you and I will have very different opinions, I think, on that fact of when watching the separate gameplay, it looked like a Battlefield game.
Which is fine to me.
That was, to anybody that, and this is a rule that I guess more and more people are learning. If you didn't like the last one, you probably won't like the new one, unless it was not gameplay related. Like, it looks like Battlefield 1 with some improvements and some new stuff. It doesn't look like a completely different experience. That's one of a kind.
And it shouldn't, because World War II and World War I weren't that far apart. So technologically speaking, there's not that.
Look, give me alternate history shit. The steam engine took over before the gas one did. Steampunk, Battlefield, World War II. Do it.
Fun. So you want Battlefield 1886?
Hey, look, I'm not. I'm already either way. But they showed the multiplayer, and they said it was the deepest, most immersive Battlefield yet, which I feel like words that should be banned from the E3, from gaming conferences and talking about video games are deep, immersive, and epic are like three words that are just, they tell me nothing. Like, when you say your world is deep, your mechanics are and immersive, and your mechanics are like, there's so much shit. It's just like, all right, cool. But then I guess the first big thing, unless do you have more thoughts specifically on
Battle Royale?
Yeah, I was gonna say before, like that's their big, which I feel like this was in response to Call of Duty, they didn't necessarily want to do it, but they did it because Call of Duty did it. Because the guy to me didn't even sound comfortable saying it on the stage.
Nah,
we
didn't.
would like what you've all been asking for, Royale.
Yeah, it was more of they made us do this shit, people.
Yeah. And I will comment, I don't care about, it's just like the Horde mode thing. Just if you want to add on the mode, feel free. It's good to give options to your player base. As long as Battlefield's already basically a team fucking battle royale game anyway, without a circle. But yeah, I'm happy for it. I think I had this conversation with you before. Battlefield is the game I think that has the easiest chance of translating its normal gameplay formula into a battle royale.
Well, I would say this: if they do they are doing a team-based kind of battle royale mode, I believe.
I would assume so.
I think they said that during the last conference, like a last man standing thing, which would make sense for a World War II game. I think it's like one team's on the attack, one team's of course on the defensive, and like whoever survives, like at the end, wins. Which would that's a war. So that's better. I mean, I like that better. I mean, sure, you want to do the whole every man for himself thing. That's cool. It's something that people have been overhyping these days because of Fortnite and PUBG. I don't think it's like as revolutionary of a genre as people are trying to make it out as. And I don't think it works for everything, but everybody's going to try it because it's very, very popular.
Correct.
So whatever. As I said, shout outs to UTX Prophecy. He tweeted out yesterday how many people are you really going to not play a game you want to play just because they have a mode that you're not interested in anyway. And my response was, look, I don't care about the battle royale, but I care about the rest of the game. So why would I not buy the game? It's stupid
because my thing is, it's that thing of like, it's this really weird conversation when it comes to battle royale, or any game mode that gains popular, or anything that gains popularity. Like, oh, you're doing this thing that's really popular. I'm like, I don't care if you want to criticize something, but most of the time, just give it time until it comes out to say that it's bad. Them putting in a more popular mode is not the problem. Them tacking on the mode half-assed and it being a bad mode would be the problem. Yeah. And I feel like people are just like, well, everybody's coming out with a battle royale game. That's how games work.
Yeah, just like when Call of Duty was popping and all of a sudden
kill streaks were a thing.
Fucking resurgence.
Or when Gears of War started to really catch steam again, they brought more games started to integrate the cover, like the single button cover mechanics. Yeah. It's all or horde modes. When Call of Duty Zombies, Gears horde mode, and just in general, horde mode stuff blew up. You got stuff that was more like the Killing Floors and other games that are completely centered around horde mode, and it still took time for people to develop interesting concepts to go on top of it.
Yeah, like trends happen, and some people hit, some people. The thing that is funny too is that as long as it's put into something that they care about and it's done well enough for them to enjoy, they're not going to complain. They're going to complain when they first hear about things, but if it's something they like, they're just going to be like, "Oh, this is the greatest thing," but then they're going to still berate anybody else who do it. So it's.
But I guess
people who I think are complaining about this probably play Fortnite. It's like you like these types of games.
But that's the thing. I think what it really is that like people don't know how to say like what they're really saying when they say it is, "Hey, I'm super scared that the game and the reasons I love the game and what I love about the game, are going to be messed up by this edition. This is really me voicing my fear and anxiety that they could mess up the game. I don't really care that it's battle royale. I care about the state of the product that I love. But people don't know how to say that, and so it comes out as man, fucking battle royale.
Yeah, like you guys are all
just chill,
just relax. And again, it's a mode in a game full of different modes.
Like we talking about practice.
It's just like, yo, I play Battlefield now. I don't play every mode in Battlefield. You know what I mean?
That's the other weird thing to me. That was what always the weirdest thing to me. Is like when people get mad about modes being added to a game. I understand modes being taken away from a game.
Yeah.
Because like if that's your if you wanted, like if Call of Duty was like, hey, we're getting rid of search and destroy, I would understand why a bunch of people would be mad.
All right.
Like people love search and destroy.
Yeah.
But then when it's like, hey, we're adding this new mode. Well, all right, there's a reason why I understand why people get mad. Because there's this idea of eventually you get this diminishing return of if your player base is small, which Battlefield and Call of Duty are not, you can end up in the situation where you're splitting your player base too thin. But again, in a AAA major franchise that is well known enough as those games, that's not going to be a problem. The people you care about and the things you care about should be like the smaller indie games that do it. Because, yeah, that's probably, they don't have as many people to just work on shit.
Yeah, I don't know, but it is what it is.
But
Battlefield, I'm getting it, so it don't matter. Fuck it.
So come back then for our thoughts, or Black's thoughts anyway. Oh, no, I'm probably not.
Yes, I will be giving my...
I can't say that I'm not going to get it because this is kind of skipping an order. These Game Pass services are looking kind of nice. Like $100 a year to get a game at launch, and all the
games for services business is very, very real.
And it's like $15 a month is not that great of a deal. Ultimately, that's $60 every 4 months. You're paying $200 almost. But if you do I think EA's is $100 a year is what their press release ended up saying for it.
Yeah,
you're paying a game and almost 2 games in price to play as many EA games when they come out as you want to.
Yeah, do the math. These things are very, very.
Oh, even on top, especially if you're a content creator.
Yeah.
Anybody that's a content creator knows for a fact how expensive it gets when you got to buy 2, especially with things like February. We'll get to February. Fuck February. God damn, fuck February.
That is not just February, but it's like you starting already in January. Well, you're good in January, I guess.
No, I'm not, because I'm still gonna spend the money. Like that's gonna happen.
Well,
we'll get to that.
Yeah,
we'll discuss February. We'll discuss the start of the year. Like there's no more dead months. To those out there, maybe summer is the dead months, but I guarantee you somebody's gonna
no, because EA kind of reminded you of what people can do.
Oh yeah, they drop the stuff that you're not necessarily expecting. Even Microsoft did that today with some of their stuff that's coming out in June and July. But continuing on what we were saying, they then stepped into their actual moneymaker. So Battlefield's their Western moneymaker, or the United States moneymaker. And the rest of the world, the biggest moneymaker for EA is FIFA. And one thing I want to give credit for before we get too far into this is I appreciate, ignoring the just memey nature of it, I appreciate how brief yet informative they kept it. They didn't have Pele sitting or Drake on stage talking about FIFA for an unnecessary amount of time. It was 5 or 10 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, it was people who worked on the game talking about, well, yeah, we're putting this in the game.
Cool. And if you are interested, you can go right now onto EA. I believe it's a free trial. You can get a free trial with the game with all the DLC. So if you had never played a FIFA game and were interested, now is the time to jump in with FIFA 19. They're bringing DLC, or new content came out as of yesterday with the conference dealing with the World Cup happening. And in FIFA 19, they're adding Champions League as a mode within the game, and is going to be kind of a center piece. seeing as it's probably the most well-known competition beyond the World Cup.
Yeah, it's actually probably in some ways more important to some teams than the World Cup, because it's like the best collective teams, not just your country, but collective teams come together
for that.
And, try to prove, like, because if you don't know about European soccer, there's many leagues.
Football, Black Magus.
Sorry, I have to keep dumb it down for us American. But yeah, you don't know about the European leagues. There's a lot of like great teams over there that want to come together and for bragging rights prove like, yeah, we're not just the best of our league, we're the best of the whole entire country. So that's pretty damn cool that they're doing it.
So that moves right into the next thing where
like the one for over here though, the what is it, CONCACAF?
Yeah. They need to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, FIFA kind of bleeds into that next thing I was talking about, which was Origin Access. Now, what they announced is as well with that is there's going to be a new tier, which is Origin Access Premier. And I gotta pull up I luckily found out you could find out a lot more details if you went into the Business Week press releases.
Yeah, because they're going to keep it more succinct. They're not going to just be like going to GameSpot where they're just going to nerd out. So,
but basically, what the new tier is, and I think they had Origin Access Premier will be $14.99 per month or $99 a year. Members will so the different benefits of this. Members can look forward to like the new games coming out. So Madden, NFL 19, FIFA 19, Battlefield 5, Anthem. You all get them directly at launch. They get the benefits of the current basic membership, which is the 100 games, as well as a 10% discount on all Origin purchases. And so for $100 a year, like if you are into any game, like if in your mind you're like, hey, I might want to play an EA game, like one of their indies. And maybe I want to play Anthem or Battlefield 5. And maybe you're like, I might try out another game. It'll pay for itself. Easy. And even if you wanted to own the game, you're saving 10% off of it down the road. It's worth checking out. And I'm kind of glad. It doesn't surprise me that they added another tier to it, though. And $15 a month isn't bad until you start kind of accounting for if all of the different services are around that price.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, people. I'm getting drunk off my food, by the way.
Oh, you're fine. If you don't care about their new games, you can just continue to get the basic, which the basic is, I'm assuming, is going to have a price drop. So I think it currently is $10. There's $10 or $15 currently, so you're going to have like a price drop as well on that. Which is, again, good. Like, you're getting more ways to play. And people seem to also be committed. They showed off this weird thing that looked like a controller to stick your phone in so you can play your games, and they really pushed the whole cloud services thing. So that's cool. Yeah.
Again, games as a service is becoming something that's becoming a fast reality, or at least they're trying to make.
What was that old service that Microsoft, I think, bought that died? Game On or something like that originally tried the whole cloud digital services thing.
Yeah, well, cloud digital service. People laughed at Sony. Now
it's becoming a thing. Next up is the first egregious mistake that EA made. You had a man sitting in the crowd. Fine. The man tweeted out the day before talking about you won't know you will be excited by what's going to be talked about by us. And this is from Respawn Entertainment. It had been told that they were working on a Star Wars game, and we got details. And by details, I mean the name and the concept. Because he was sitting in the crowd. For those wondering exactly what we got, the name is Jedi Fallen Order. and it takes place during the dark times when the Jedis were being hunted. If that doesn't give you enough of an information, they mean between episodes 3 and 4, and it's slated for holiday next year, and is going to be pushed back. I'm gonna bet money right now. I'll make that bold statement now that's gonna, be delayed.
Oh man, I don't think it'll be delayed. It may not come out.
Are you? No, I think it'll come out. I think it'll come out. It's just,
I'm curious about it. I'm interested in seeing what they are going to bring and what type of game it's going to be. Only because we're having this done by a team that's basically known for only FPS games. Even before Respawn was a thing, Vince Zampella and his crew were the Call of Duty people.
Yeah,
they do. So, is this an FPS Star Wars game?
No, there will be a thing with. They said that there's a good chance you will be. Well, actually, they said you'll be able to play a Jedi, right?
Yeah, but you can swing a lightsaber in first person. We've seen that before. So, do you want it? That's the question.
I mean, I think it'll be good. I don't think it'll be a problem. Like, Titanfall has given me confidence in Respawn's ability. Like, Titanfall is one of those games that gamers didn't latch onto. It wasn't that they were bad video games.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, both Titanfalls, especially Titanfall 2, were amazing games. But they just didn't ever catch a hold. No, and that's going to be the important thing. I think Star Wars carries a brand that's big enough to, like, if it comes out, people will try it out. And if they just keep going with the quality they already have, then we'll get something special. And they led off with this because they had then got a very scared European man on stage to talk about Battlefront 2. He was so terrified. Like, it was like he drew the short straw at the office to be the person up on the stage talking to people about Battlefront 2.
I mean, yeah, because like, please, y'all gonna kill me. I'm just a messenger, because you know how people feel about Battlefront.
Mm-hmm.
You have been the poster boy of, why you should hate games and extra, transactions, microtransactions and shit like that.
And they didn't do it in big letters, but they did admit that they didn't get things quite right, but they believe that there's a bright future ahead for it. The big announcement for it was they're currently in the Han Solo season, but they're going to be adding the Clone Wars later in the year, with the main features being General Grievous, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Count Dooku, and Anakin Skywalker as new heroes. And then they also talked about a new Starfighter mode that was about dogfighting and like holding or capturing nodes or something like that, and then a sandbox experience. So if you're into Battlefront 2, you're getting more content. I'm glad they didn't just abandon the franchise. I just hope that they can win back people, because that's a conversation that I would love to have with you in a different video.
It's not a bad game. As someone who's played it, I don't own it, but I played it. I actually rented it. I played the campaign. The campaign was pretty decent. The multiplayer is solid.
It's not even just that. I feel like in the gaming, like I said, a separate video, I would love to talk about this more. But games get one chance nowadays, and are crucified or basically destroyed by it. And I feel like sometimes devs deserve another chance, and it's before their next release.
Yes.
And so I hope that people will still give it a chance, because like you said, it's not a bad game. It just is up to people to be willing to say, like, hey, they messed up. Let's see how it is now. A lot can change in a year, people. A lot can change in 6 months.
Yeah, the narrative should change on that. But
so hopefully maybe rent it again and give us I don't think they'll charge for it. It'll probably,
I might buy it actually, because it's pretty cheap. They have a sale going on.
Yeah, and I would love to hear.
It's not bad. It's not a bad play at all. And it's funny because I know a lot of people shitted on this story, but it actually was a story that fell within the Star Wars universe
which is dope.
And it punched some like slight holes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the Star Wars section. Again, kind of when we went through our predictions, I kind of talked about I think they were going to keep it brief because they don't really want to draw too much highlight to Star Wars until they fix everything. Because the idea is you lie low until people forget, which the rule is the internet doesn't forget, but that's like the internet doesn't forget, but most people stop giving a fuck at a certain point. So
yeah, and you can, as we see with certain games, like a certain game that me and you love, that all of a sudden now is getting a pop because they started doing some things that people like. If you do something people like, they'll come back.
Yeah, people don't like to admit it. They just the idea is like I just want to feel like you're listening to me, and the moment I feel like that's the case, then I'll be right back. Next, we had the same dev from when Unravel 1 was launched, and he was a lot less nervous this time.
Kudos to him. He was like,
he held his own this year. He did a really good job. Like, I felt bad the first time because it felt like they straight up just tossed this random indie dev on the stage. Like,
but that's what EA do.
It's
which
we'll get to. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Unravel 2 though was announced. Released the day, like right the day of the conference with you get a new player, you get a new friend. It's co-op. Unfortunately, it's only couch co-op. Which when games tell me they're only couch co-op, it hurts a lot. Because it's kind of like, that's great. I don't have a couch nor people near me to play with.
I thought you could actually connect from the internet. It's just couch co-op if you do the co-op.
Well, that's what I've been seeing on a lot of the promotional materials. And maybe but again, PlayStation, you can kind of get around that because of the party thing. Yeah. But for somebody that plays on Xbox, that's an issue.
Yeah, I might have to check that out now. Okay. But I mean, it looks cool. I need to play the first one. The first one's actually on sale right now, so
I would check it out. I heard good things.
Yeah,
but it looked great, and it is available now. So feel free to check out Unravel 2. I believe there's also a problem initially where it was overpriced. They priced it too much, but I think that's been fixed.
Okay.
Now this time EA picked another victim of a new dev to toss on stage. And with like many things, when you toss somebody that is not used to being in front of a few 100,000 people and basically their life's work being critiqued as they talk about it, the person was terrified and nervous.
No, I still give her props though, because she came out and she said that shit. She was like, "Yo, look, I'm just gonna let you know now.
I'm excited and I'm like nervous.
I'm very nervous because this is something that I really, really believe in, and I am really overwhelmed by the emotions of knowing that I'm able to do this and share this with you."
But the best part was the moment she got into the game that she was representing, Sea of Solitude, who she's the writer for. The demeanor and the anxiety disappeared.
And that's why I give her props, because she didn't let that take her out. She admitted to it. She put it out there and she let it out in those first moment, a couple of minutes. And then she was like, okay. And I think that's what the next, if you're an indie dev for EA and you think you're going to be thrown out, you're not as confident as Joseph Ferris is in being in the public eye. That's what you just need to do. Just like let people know.
Yeah, that was the game of EA show for me. Because she sold the concept, the premise, the idea, the entire way they went about making and the purpose behind the game and why she felt so passionately. And you could feel the themes, the ideas, the way she presented it, like it was amazing. Like straight up, she sold that game. by herself.
Yeah, no, she did.
And it's one of the trailers as well. The game looks beautiful. It's go watch it. It's one of those things that I would say go watch because it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
And EA kind of continues with the whole like putting out, like it's one of those things that like now these companies have started like helping indie studios or bringing them into the fold, and they always have like little gems. Because I remember, was it EA or was it Ubisoft that had Child of Light a while ago? You have things like Transistor. You have all these little games where it's like they're indies, but they're so committed to what they're trying to do that they turn out amazing. I mean, help, we got there. It's so good. It was a beautiful moment, and Sea of Solitude looks to be amazing. Question still, but it looks good. Black, I heard you like sports.
Continue.
NBA Live 19.
Yeah, it was a thing. Cool. Continue.
For those that are out there, I apparently it's the cool thing now is the like live and not like 2K is what I'm seeing on my Twitter feed.
Yeah, everybody here is just like hyped for this because like I'm so sick of 2K. Like, no, you're not. You're gonna buy 2K. Shut up.
Then the next weird thing, they brought Juju from the Steelers and the world's best Madden player to the stage to present Madden 19. It was weird, but it was Madden. And people were calling it fake already because the Giants running back was breaking tackles by the Eagles. People were really not kind to Madden. Also, apparently it's not cool to like Madden still. So
yeah, again, you say that shit now. Once shit come out.
Yo, Madden's back on PC. Let me get Game Pass. Let me get Game Pass by EA.
Y'all motherfuckers want to sit out here and talk shit. It's fine. You know you're gonna buy it, so shut up.
Now, on to actually the worst thing that EA did in their entire conference. Hands down, the worst. Like, physically hurt me the worst. They showed off a mobile game.
Why did it hurt you?
First off, shout out to my dude In Control. He won. Fresno In Control is a StarCraft pro. Dope dude. He plays Protoss. He's a quality individual as well. Really cool dude. Beyond that, they showed this off, and I was kind of like, oh, this is kind of cool. And they were like, hey, this is an RTS for phones. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. That was all good. We were kind of okay. It hurt to see that RTSs are now just on phones.
I agree.
Like, we are out of the realm where RTS is like getting normal, like full on home platform releases. What hurt even more is you find out that that's what's become of Command and Conquer.
Yeah, no.
And it hurt. Because for the longest time, it was known that they were trying to make something, bring Command and Conquer back, and to see that it turned into a mobile game is very sad. It's just hurtful to see that. Like, that's where RTSs are now, Black.
Yeah.
Like, you just mentioned that you were playing StarCraft 2 the other day, and I'm just sitting up here like, well, when's the StarCraft mobile game?
I so hope Blizzard don't go that route. God damn it. I'm still wanting the Warcraft like return to RTS. God damn it.
Now, with that said, I can't give a review on the game yet. I did. If you have an Android phone, you can currently go to the Android store, look up Command and Conquer Rivals, and pre-register. I just got into the alpha, beta, whatever, and I will talk about it next time we talk. Hopefully, I'll get some games in to be able to say how it plays. But a lot of the RTS big pros and bigger people that I've seen have been saying that it's all right. No, it's not. It's not a full-on RTS experience, but it's not bad, like, to give it a chance. And so it just hurts to see one of your favorite genres. I'm into competitive gaming because of StarCraft 2. And it hurts to see one of your favorite genres the fall from grace.
Yeah, they're shitting on RTS. Yeah, that was my favorite PC genre when it was all PC.
Yup. And it just hurts. Like I say it's the biggest mistake, but it's like I get why they did it, but that's the worst part. Is to know, like, it's the idea of it's not just that your game that they did it, but you kind of understand why. And you saw like that's just how things are nowadays. And it's just unfortunately sad. And then we got what everybody's been waiting for at EA. The thing we've all been chasing at EA. You know what that is, Black Mangus? Anthem. Which we got some information. The game is directly connected to something called the Anthem of Creation. It has a concept within the game, which is one of the, it seems like the forces you're working against. It kind of seems like ancient technology versus natural selection seems to be the kind of a general concept, with the Anthem of Creation being more the like nature side of things. But we got a bunch of stuff for Anthem. I guess I'll ask you, what did you think of, how did you think the footage looked? Because that seemed, the footage and overall the Anthem presentation, because people seemed to fall on a lot of different places on the scale, good, bad, whatever. How did you feel about it?
You know, before you said Anthem, I was about to say something smart one. I was like, I was about to say, we got Fight Night. But no, we didn't get Fight Night. So something else for the internet to be mad. I just put that out there for y'all to be angry about. You're welcome. Anyway, I was very underwhelmed. So, it looks cool. It, you know, I'm still curious about it, but for all of the build up to this moment, I guess I just like, that's all.
I think they made the same mistake Destiny did. They waited too long to show stuff.
And like, you know, if I don't feel like there was that big of an underwhelming feeling with Destiny, because,
well, I think Destiny but Destiny was kind of the first in this wave of,
yeah, maybe it was just like
the surge of looter shooters. And so now, remember, like, people had already started, yo, is Anthem the Destiny killer? I'm like, God, are we already at that point?
You know, the funny part about that is that it felt like EA was making the biggest case as possible to say that they are no way impossible trying to be like Destiny, because they were saying this isn't an MMO like game or anything like that. This is something different. They were really trying to separate themselves from that genre in the way they were talking about it on stage. But I was like, well, okay, then what are you doing? Because no offense, kind of looks like it to me. But that threw me off too, as well. I mean, the thing that was underwhelming to me wasn't like, I would say this. The thing that underwhelmed me was, I guess, the way they presented it mostly.
Okay. Yeah.
Because it didn't seem like
panel style isn't good for a first
art. I didn't need to see all the art. I get it. You have art,
and you ended up looping it, so it made it feel like you didn't have a lot of stuff to show.
I didn't need to see that, and I didn't need to hear you not talk about the lore, or at least try to build upon what the lore is about, because I felt like they were more concerned about getting to those Twitter questions, which basically were just their way of, you know,
it was trying to stem the tide.
You know, we're not going to hit you with a bunch of shit. Like, we get it. You hated what we did with Battlefront.
Yeah, we're like, look, we're better now. We're nicer. We learned. Trust us again.
Yeah, I felt like they were more concerned with making sure that people realized you're not going to have to pay any money that you don't want to pay in this game in order to be good at the game and whatnot. It's like, yeah, I just wanted to I wanted them to focus on the game, and it's like I was left just probably slightly more informed. If not, I don't even feel slightly more informed about the game. I mean, the gameplay looks cool, but I really wanted them to, show more, and especially again the build to it, because this was supposed to be the big thing. They even started the show with the girl saying, like, "We know what you want, and we're gonna bring it to you." Like, cool. So this is what you showed me, okay? Like, I'm not saying I'm now fuck this. I would never touch Anthem, but they didn't make me. They didn't encourage me to look forward to it, I guess. And we know when it's coming, February 22nd, which to me, like,
that date's looking more and more dangerous.
Because you got February, you don't have they didn't give the date for Crackdown 3, right?
Crackdown's February 22nd. Well, it says no, it's February. No, it is. It's just February.
Yeah,
but I heard somewhere.
But Days Gone is on February 22nd as well.
We found out Metro Exodus, which we'll get to later, is on there. Kingdom Hearts is the end of January, and we're not done yet.
Like, if you really are a gaming enthusiast and you want to have all the biggest games, February is you better do your taxes early so you can get that refund for real. Because February is going to kill your wallet.
Let me see if there's any game I'm missing right now. It's such a ridiculous date for those that don't know. February.
Well, the thing is, we don't even know what else is coming out.
Yeah, we still have Sony, Nintendo, and everybody else.
Yeah, because Nintendo could be like, so yeah, we're gonna drop the Pokemon game in February 22nd. Like, oh, shit. So who knows? But yeah, it's not that I think it's a bad game. I just feel I left that whole segment like, okay, that's it.
So this is so I'm gonna go in. So I wanna start before we go too deep. This felt like what they should have led in terms of Anthem with, because this felt like you're trying to sell the concept of Anthem to a lot of people. As somebody that was already sold on Anthem, as in I want to see mechanics. I'm happy in that I see some stuff, and you get a few ideas. You get the idea of the different classes, the fact that you can kind of switch between them at will. I had some conversation with some people where they didn't like kind of how combo damage and certain UI elements are that can be reworked. Ultimately, I was happy because it looks like it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a looter shooter that's gonna be. It's primarily PvE focused. There is no PvP in the game. They said that. And I guess the thing that got me, which I guess my biggest takeaway is, if you're comparing this to Destiny, I would recommend you stop.
Yeah.
This is more Division / Warframe-ish than Destiny. Like, I didn't realize how different Destiny is.
Yeah. Like, everything that everybody keeps trying to compare to Destiny is nothing like Destiny that's come out so far. So stop it. Although I will say this, I like the comparison of the what was it called? Destiny frame. That's probably the closest that you're gonna get. It may be a mix of Destiny and Warframe in some ways, but
yeah,
nothing's ever gonna be like comparable.
But I'm still excited for it. They didn't do the best job of showing it off. I get why people are reserved. I have a lot of questions mechanically, lore-wise about the game, but it has definitely fallen into what I like to call like the wheelhouse of games that I'm slowly becoming a huge fan of, which is looter shooter, like quasi like online or massively online looter shooters where you get people together and you go through and there's this focus on PvE content and storytelling versus anything else. The footage itself looked good. The performance wasn't the best. But if you're interested in Anthem, I would still say check it out. But don't go into it assuming that it's going to convince you to buy the game. There is going to be a beta for the game, which when I heard the February launch date, I assumed so. It seems that you're going to be able to get it through pre-orders, as well as Premiere. So I learned this again through news, the press releases. You will be able to with Premiere play it a week early for an unlimited amount of time. And if you buy the basic Game Pass, you will only be able to play 12 hours, 14 hours, something like that.
Yeah, like the general EA Game Pass thing where they give you the like
Premiere gives you unlimited time though. Yeah. So again, another reason to just drop that 100, which I'll probably do.
Yeah, this whole again, the whole gaming for service thing is very, very interesting to me. And we could probably do a separate video on that alone because there's a lot about that that's encouraging, but I'm curious as to when the other shoe is going to drop on this whole thing. Because there is another shoe that I see that can drop when it comes to these services that I think a lot of people aren't paying attention right now because right now they seem just too good to be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And that was pretty much EA's conference. I guess the big thing that I'm noticing is that for me, the conference was pretty good because I wanted more information. I got it, and I didn't expect anything super wow to come out of it. And I got really good moments in terms of some of the stuff from Anthem, but especially Sea of Solitude, the game's service, and we're not going to talk about the stuff that I actually absolutely hated and wanted to kill them over, because every conference can have something like that.
Okay, I'm curious to know what it is that made you livid.
The fact that legit you don't mention shit about a Command and Conquer. They canceled a Command and Conquer game a few years back, and you bring it back to mobile.
I know.
And they bring it back on mobile. And then they show it off with shoutcasting. Do not tell me my RTS esports is a mobile game, has a mobile game future. Leave me alone.
Oh, that was so ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I can't lie. It was not the nicest thing they could have done.
And shout out to the other dude, but you got one RTS pro and a dude that's just really good at mobile games. Who do you think is gonna win? That sounds.
I was just glad that he did it so fast because shit. Did we really need to see a long presentation for that?
No, we didn't need that in general. The trailer for the game was better than match because most people don't. RTSs are only interesting if you understand what's going on.
Exactly. It's just like
it's MOBAs.
For those who have a PlayStation 4, people are pretty pissy because one of the free games for PlayStation 4 this month is XCOM 2. Me? I'm fucking hyped.
It's a great game, but it's so different.
But yeah, nobody likes real-time strategy games, so they're looking at this like, what the fuck are you doing, Sony? And me, I'm just dancing. So yeah, you have to really be into RTS to understand why this is a good thing.
As an RTS fan, even then, I was mad because I didn't have enough information to understand what countered what units. Why was he building what he was building? What am I supposed to be paying attention to beyond hey, they're controlling the points to shoot the
can't show a match to a new RTS and not make me understand why this is important. He did. Because it's just watching StarCraft, we know StarCraft.
Yeah.
StarCraft for us to understand.
Even if you don't know every unit, you're hey, that's a Zealot. That's a Void Ray. That's a Zergling or Mutalisk.
Yeah, like if
Siege
somebody's
tank.
like mowing through people with void walkers, it's done. You're done, or something like that. Yeah.
But like in that case that game, like they said stuff, and I was like, hey, that's a familiar looking unit. And then it was just like, okay, please stop. Please just I get like I within 5 seconds of watching the match start and the way that it played out, I was able to say, like, okay, In Control's got like a 95% chance of winning this. Without like knowing very much about the game, just watching it. And that's just because like you can tell the difference in experience, and that's not the greatest thing, but I guess they wanted to also keep it short. Again, what would you grade EA if you had to give it? Because I'm not into numbers. We'll go with the letter grades we received in school. C being an average, A being what's A usually? Exceptional. F being failure, I guess.
It's a C, and that's good for them because generally speaking, in my mind, their conferences are D's at best. So it's a C. They kept it, kind of tight. They didn't go overboard with the celebrity thing. They had the one celebrity, but they didn't overdo that.
Yeah.
They, I think they're saving a lot of stuff mostly for Gamescom and just like
EA tends to have a pretty big Gamescom.
Yeah, I feel like they were reserving a lot of stuff for that, and just didn't want to like drop too much on you. Although I would say that if anything, they needed to drop a ton of shit on us was Anthem, and they didn't. But hey, I appreciate them not making me want to pull my hair out with all the like two extra segments. So
yeah,
but it's like it's not like they show like I know I'm gonna get Battlefield. Even though I'm still kind of underwhelmed by the Anthem presentation, I'm curious, so that's cool. But they did nothing to move the needle, I guess you could say, because like, yeah, FIFA, NBA Live, Madden. Okay, that's it. All right,
kind of what Black's getting at. It's a C. It had its good points. It had its bad points. Luckily, one of the bad points was that it didn't drag. But unlike who we're gonna talk about, Microsoft, next, they didn't have a wow factor. Like there was nothing to surprise us. Had they had gameplay of Jedi Fallen Order, that could have really bumped it up. Had the Anthem had a little bit more impact, that could have bumped it up. But really, we learned the most about the games that make them the most money. Star Wars Battlefront, their sports games, and Battlefield. And the new properties were the ones that kind of felt like afterthoughts.
Yeah.
Which was really sad.
Yeah, no, definitely. But
welcome everybody, by the way, to the chat. See Cardiac and Anaj out there. Thank you.
Hey, what's up?
Now on to Microsoft, the really fun one. I have been giddy since this conference has ended. So let's not waste any time and just get actually really quickly. We can both keep this like super brief. Our expectations for Microsoft. I think the way I thought about it, the more I thought about it, Microsoft had like their risk was just showing games, and as long as they did that, people were gonna be happy. Like they had the not a lot to risk, but they could gain a lot. Because I didn't feel like most people expected anything of Microsoft, and I think that's what we were saying. Like they just need to show games. Just show games, and that's what they did. If you have not seen the Microsoft conference, it is basically 2 hours of video games. 2 hours of trailers. The longest talking segment was Forza, I think, which may have been 5 minutes. I guess
Forza and probably the stumbling that lady did over the fast start thing, which I'm still confused about, but okay.
But yeah, that is it was really quick. Like every time I looked up, I was at a point where I had to use the bathroom, and I was literally like, I don't want to get up right now because I'm going to miss like 3 trailers if I do. Like this is a pain. Like it was actually annoying to try to like.
Microsoft has slowly learned, and it took them damn near 10 years to figure this out.
It took them not being in control.
Yeah, I don't need you to be trying to like have all these personalities from your company and bringing out all these celebrities just to show off who plays the Xbox and all this dumb shit.
But I want to say to you, I think they figured that out. They didn't put any money towards that. They literally just cut a check for every damn company to show something off at their conference.
Yeah, like if you're gonna throw money, that's the better way to throw.
Like when I say, to give y'all an idea, soon later tonight when this is going on, Bethesda has their conference. They got the world premiere like full-length trailer for Fallout 76. Why? Like, how much money did you pay for that? How many games that we just didn't know? But to show just how heavy hitting Microsoft is, they led with their best punch. There is a new Halo game on the horizon. Halo Infinite, built on a new engine, coming again from 343. This is Halo 6. It's still a ways out due to the fact that they're building and they've been making a new engine. And it's still good to say, though, we know that there's another Halo coming. So it's almost like Microsoft saying, like, before you even start asking what's going to be next year, this game will probably be the centerpiece next year for Microsoft. Halo Infinite.
Yeah. Although something later makes me wonder, like, but we'll get to that later.
So we then continue to move on, and this is where you kind of knew Phil Spencer, who is quickly becoming my favorite executive as a major conference leader. Like, of the E3 conference leaders, I'm just enjoying him the most. Because,
really?
Yeah. He just straight up seems like, hey, like, yo, like, I'm gonna do the corporate talk, but at the same time, I'm the direction he's leading his company seems to be the right one.
That's weird because I feel myself growing a bit tired of Phil these days. And I'll tell you why later. It's not anything. Like as a personality, I do enjoy Phil, but there's a reason why I think I find myself.
Sometimes he feels. He always says the right. He always, to me, says the right thing, which can be a good thing and a curse. Like,
but that's not why. Well, I just say it now.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it at the end because that'll just sum up.
But Microsoft has to try to get all their brownie points. So 100% of FanFest, their little event is going to Gamers Outreach. While I appreciate it, thank you for the giving. You don't need to say it, but again, thank you for putting that out there and really putting the message home.
I guess they feel like they need to let people know, hey, we give money to charities, we care.
Yeah. So we are going to get we're there. This is what they said. We're going to get a lot of games today. 50 games, 18 of which will be exclusive titles, 15 of which will be world premieres. This is how they opened up the show. Now, I will say right now, most, if not all, are Microsoft exclusives. Yes, people will say that doesn't make they are not on PlayStation exclusives, which are not exclusives, but whatever. If we're talking semantics, whatever. They are things that Microsoft is pushing. And then the world premieres are probably the more interesting stuff. So let's get up from an exclusive from the Microsoft Studios, a game that I'm exceptionally excited for, which was Ori and the Will of the Wisp. If you have not played the original Ori and the Blind Forest, play it. It is an amazing platformer, story, beautiful art, music. It is an all-around amazing experience that I recommend to anybody to check out, especially with the sequel coming out soon. And the gameplay from that looked just as beautiful.
Really, really good.
interesting. The music was still on point. The intro music hurt my soul again.
It hurts your soul.
Well, the first game, if you play the first game.
I get what you're saying, but I was like, why does it hurt? I mean, I could see if it made your soul weep out of joy, but why hurt?
Play the first game.
Jesus.
The first game hurts. It's great, but it also hurts. But yeah, Ori is amazing. It's coming out in 2019. So boom, that's your first game coming from Microsoft. Next up, what a lot of people assumed was going to probably be a PlayStation game coming from Software. It turns out 100% is a multiplat, and it is a new game. This is published by Activision.
That threw me when I first Activision. I was like, "What the fuck?" Activision.
And Shadows Die Twice was actually the subtitle to a game coming in 2019 known as Sekiro. Sekiro. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. This seems to take the frantic pace of something like a Bloodborne when relating it to another one of From Software's titles.
I'm glad you know how to pronounce it better than me, by the way.
I
think I fucked that name all the fuck up.
Oh, it's just yeah. Sekiro? Actually, technically, this is an I. Sekiro would technically be correct.
I think I pronounced it like the name of the old porn star. So forgiveness.
But yeah, he has a robotic arm that has a grappling hook like Bionic Commando. It looks action combat-y and is just like, oh. It looks really good. It's another one of those games that I can't wait to see it, and it looks like they're taking the pace up again. If you thought Dark Souls was too slow, 3 was too slow, and you kind of like Bloodborne, I think they've even taken it up a little bit higher than this.
Yeah, it looked interesting. It looked like something I'm probably not going to play because I don't play Souls games.
They're not that bad. Play them.
I don't feel like beating my head against the wall.
It's not that bad. You're an intelligent gentleman. You'll figure it out very quickly.
Yeah, I don't have the time or the patience.
Okay, so you say that.
Yeah.
But again, I don't think anybody expected that. So this is where Microsoft started to say, like, hey, we didn't come here to play around. We are going to give you information and show you shit. And so they immediately left here and they brought up Todd Howard from Bethesda. He talks about how they're across the street. And in a few hours, they'll be showing some stuff. And then they showed, well, Fallout 4 is available on Microsoft Game Pass or Xbox Game Pass. If you haven't already played it, drop the 10 or whatever it is a month. Check it out with the DLC, I believe. But the next thing they say is Fallout 76, which is set in West Virginia, is 4 times bigger than the size of Fallout 4. And they didn't give a release date. And they show the trailer. And it's an extension of the trailer we kind of saw before. With more scenes and a little more context, where you're gonna be one of the first people out after everything has happened, one of the votes that will help shape the world post nuclear fallout.
Yeah, I almost started singing. I had to stop myself.
That song is really good. The song is really good.
I tweeted because I was like, if this is weird that I know the words.
Yeah, no, like I know the words. Yo, especially that chorus is. Yep.
To the place I belong.
See, that's what people don't get. People out there, you say you don't like country. That's because good music is good music. It doesn't matter. It's beautiful. I love that. The trailer was fun watch. It's going to be interesting to see what the game is, which we'll probably learn about in the next hour or so. Hour, 20 minutes or so.
Okay, I can technically say we both can technically say that we have 2 games that are coming out that are in our general area of living.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And something that showed up later.
Yep. It's pretty interesting, and I cannot wait. Hopefully, now here's the thing: it didn't look like a new age engine, but it also was a CG trailer, so we don't know yet.
Well, the thing that makes me hope and pray and think that it is because they said it's 4 times bigger than the last one. So I would hope that because it's 4 times bigger, that they're actually going to use new assets.
Nah,
develop that game.
The glitches will be 4 times bigger as well.
Well, yeah, because but that's
Yeah.
they're good at glitches. But, I mean, I just hope and pray, like seriously, that they're really trying to put out a new goddamn engine. Like, please, maybe tonight we'll see. Later on tonight,
Yeah.
they'll be like, yeah, this is actually a new engine.
I feel like the only reason Bethesda must really have some shit if this is what they're showing before their show starts. Like they really
prediction it might come true.
really might. But next up, we had Square-Enix and Don't Nod with a reveal. For those who know, Don't Nod made Life is Strange. And it's really quick to see that they use the same art style in this game when you see the trailer. But this time's following a young boy, and it's apparently in the same universe. And this game is kind of like, it's, for lack of a better word, it's kind of just like an adorably nice game. It's not like something way out there. It's just a kid, and it takes you back to being a kid and your imagination and kind of how grandiose in some of the stories you could tell. And it looks like there'll be a dynamic of loss, a dynamic of growing up and dealing with people. But ultimately, it's all tied together by this kid who has created himself to be a superhero known as Captain Spirit. And it will be available for free starting June 16th under the title The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit.
Now, was that exclusive or is it?
I don't remember.
I don't think it was an exclusive. I just think
it was a world premiere.
Yeah.
Next up, a world premiere. Yeah, it's a world premiere.
I'm curious. By the way, Don't Nod is kind of busy because I don't know if you noticed the other day they announced another game.
What was the other game they announced? I know they announced
Twilight something. I forget what it was. It was. Let me.
Wait. It wasn't.
It was that thing that they did on that live PlayStation Live thing.
Twin Mirrors.
Twin Mirrors. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then they didn't. Don't Nod do Vampire as well that just came out?
Yes, they're busy.
They are. God, yeah, you released a game, then announced 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, machine. Life is Strange did y'all well.
Clearly, although I think they're now under the umbrella of Nordic THQ, so they kind of got.
Oh yeah, that's helpful.
So,
I don't know if we're gonna co-stream the Bethesda thing. That's a question that came in the chat.
Live, probably not, but we are gonna do a after thing.
Yeah. Next, I had to turn my computer down because goddamn Terry Crews is loud as fuck.
I just wanted him to go Old Spice,
but he captured the feeling of
it's just the same stuff,
which was, and they got the visual, like the visuals look on point. The visual of like just Crackdown was about just you are the Hulk / any superhero that you like, and the city is your playground, and you're just told to deal with shit, and it's chaos from there. So yeah, like
I felt like it was kind of a slap in a way too to show that, because just told everybody you delaying it again after everybody begged you not to do that.
I mean, I just want to say, like,
that game
Crackdown, it wasn't the best looking game there. That was the thing that kind of bothered me the most about it, was like it looks like Crackdown, but it looks like the other 2 Crackdowns that came out.
See, that makes again the narrative that was built around that game and how much hype, and
I don't care if your game looks bad. Just let me level the entire city, and I'm fine with your game looking old.
No, but this was the technological.
Look, let it go. All right, they let go of always online, so y'all lost the power of the cloud. All right,
or have they?
Nier Automata Become Gods Edition. If you didn't get the DLC for Nier Automata, that's out June 26th. Go ahead and pick that up. Metroid Exodus. We got a follow-up trailer with actual game, vertical slice segments of gameplay.
It looks like a Metro game.
Yes, it does. Which tends to look better than the Fallout game, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, well,
when you're not wrong, you're not wrong.
I'm telling y'all better kick out a new engine.
Hey, Metro Exodus is looking to come out and play, and it also goes ahead and grabs that February 22nd along.
And people, 3 games now are coming out on February 22nd.
And again,
3
like
AAA games.
I just want to make a point, Black. Within 2 weeks of that game coming out, you're also guaranteed right now for Crackdown 3 to come out.
Yeah. Or maybe right before.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Within a 2-week window, either the 2 weeks before or the week after, or possibly the same day.
Before, yeah,
you're looking for it.
Yeah, in February now you have 3 games on the same date, 4 games in February. 1 game that you could technically say is February because it's goddamn January 29th. Within a 3 to 4 week period, you could possibly end up having Kingdom Hearts 3, Days Gone, Crackdown 3, and Anthem.
And I'd still say there's more.
Yeah, we're not done yet. We definitely not yet.
More shit. Because Sony's going to have something in there beyond Days Gone.
Yeah, well, they probably do April. But yeah, it's going to be rough.
They dropped Neo. They dropped Neo on the 14th of February and then dropped Horizon Zero Dawn on the 29th.
Shit. Did. Oh man,
that's what I'm saying. Like they 100% can have another game just chilling there for a different market. Like that's why I'm saying. Yeah. And then in March, don't they usually drop MLB The Show?
Yeah, and like I said, you got the April big game. Because this year they did that. They did God of War.
Yep.
In April, and then Detroit Become Human in April. I mean,
they're showing off 4 games, and of those 4 games, Spider-Man's coming out next year. We still have 3 other games that are going to be brought out. I'm betting next year.
Chima has to Sony. Shit. Oh man. 2019 is gonna be fucking ridiculous.
So then we get our man back on stage, and probably the highlight of the conference for me. Something that was already known, but I guess most people didn't know back when they first showed the trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3. Keen eyes were able to pick up that it was coming to Xbox, but they officially confirmed it on stage. If you own an Xbox, you will be able to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
They said this in 2014.
Yeah, like it was shown that it was multi-plat back then. With that said, we got a new trailer. Because we have things that the Bethesda conference starts in an hour, I will not take the time to completely dismantle that trailer right now. Because trust me, I want to, especially the last 15 seconds of it.
Go ahead.
So we got confirmation on we got more gameplay of Tangled as a world. We got to see some of the mechanics that are going to be brought in there, as well as we got to see Frozen as a world. We got a few new powers. We got to see the Simba summon, which looks fucking amazing. If you have not seen what Kingdom Hearts 3 is doing visually, in terms of like stylizing the gameplay, it looks great. Towards the end of the trailer, we start to get a little bit of story with probably fan favorite girl Aqua having a pretty big moment in the trailer that kind of leaves you at this very weird point where you don't know 100%. Some people that you thought would be doing and doing certain things happening aren't happening how you expected them, and that dynamic is going to be really interesting. And I haven't watched the trailer again, Black. Also, the intro to that fucking game is
I'm sure it's ingrained in your memory.
Oh, no, like I could watch it a bunch. But the most important thing, and we're going to talk about this because they're stupid. I retweeted a tweet that said this: only Square-Enix would announce Kingdom Hearts 3's release date at 1:30 in the morning on a Sunday, the Sunday of E3.
They're Japanese. They're up.
Only then. With that said, Kingdom Hearts 3's release date is January 29th, 2019, which means I'm getting a free copy of the game. Had to put it on wax, Black. Just had to put it on wax. And I'm very happy because that's also right after my birthday. So
Son of a bitch. And by the way, Cardiac, I know you're out there. It's your fault because you brought this bad luck in this run of
shout out to you, Cardiac. Much appreciated. Appreciate you,
it.
bro. Appreciate you.
Lucky my internet's wavering right now because I'd be in chat cursing you out.
It looks really good, by the way. To those that are out there, it looks amazing. If you are into Kingdom Hearts, check it out. For those wondering, the worlds that the trailer shows more Hercules, Toy Story, Monsters Inc. We saw the trailer for what am I thinking of? Wreck-It Ralph was also in the trailer as a summon. Simba was a summon. So we have a bunch of different worlds, as well as the World of Darkness and more conversation there. So it looks really good. Recommend checking it out. It should be dope. One of the other things me and Black predicted was that Microsoft was not just going to abandon Sea of Thieves, and they talked about 2 new content patches, updates, expansions. I don't know exactly what they're defining them as. The Forsaken Shores, which seems to be a new island, a new destination, as well as that's going to have like a bunch of expansions. I don't know exactly what they're defining them as.
The Forsaken Shores,
which seems to be a new island, a new destination. Okay, because I can hear it. That's just feedback. Wow. But the 2 are
talking about him.
The Forsaken Shores and Cursed Seas, I believe, were the 2 names of them that were coming out. And that's what we got for Sea of Thieves. It was really quick. Again, another game that didn't perform super well. A company is smart enough not to spend a lot of time trying to revive it. Just say, hey, we're working on it and keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Then we got a shortened trailer of Battlefield 5 for what we had already seen. It was like super quick, and we moved into Forza Horizon 4. I'll defer to you, Black. It looked like a Forza game.
It was a game with cars
and seasons.
Awesome. Moving on. What was next?
Okay, I thought you're about the same place I am, right? Yeah. Okay. Forza. This was their longest section. It'll run at 60 FPS on Xbox One X. Forza. Microsoft dropped leaves on people in the theater. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Forza lasted a really long time.
Of course, because it's Forza. That's their baby. That is their somehow, in some way, Forza has become their flagship franchise.
Well, when Master Chief disappears for 5 years at a time.
Yeah, like they jumped off it with him, and that trailer wasn't that long. You know?
Yeah. So, Black, the narrative you and I set up going into Microsoft's conference, their biggest weakness right now is they lack first-party titles. They lack franchises. They lack star characters and mascots to carry the Xbox brand. Right? That's the big issue that Microsoft had. Well, they formed a new studio called The Initiative. It'll be led by the former head of Crystal Dynamics, the people that revived the Tomb Raider franchise. So he does have a decent pedigree. And I don't remember if they said anything about what they were going to do. I don't think they did. They just said they have this new first party title. And people are like, okay, cool. But there's more. Undead Labs is also a part of the initiative. But there's more. Playground Games. The people now, Playground is the one weird one, Black. Because I saw this consistently tweeted out by people. Playground Games makes Forza. but somehow they were a third party title. Like they were a third party. They were not under they were not owned by Microsoft until
It's
now.
not weird.
I mean, it's not weird, but it's weird. Because it's one of those things where you just assume the mascot of the company, basically, like you were just saying, is owned by.
Yeah, because Horizon has been out of the two between regular Forza Horizon. Horizon has been the one that people have celebrated mostly these years. And yeah, you would have. It's just like how Sony got Naughty Dog under their wing as soon as they knocked out Crash Bandicoot. They were like, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna keep you."
Yep.
It should have been a no-brainer years ago.
So far we were sitting there, and I think it was kind of like, okay, well they have a few good developers here, right? Like solid developers under their wing. And then came the big ones. I'm gonna save the biggest for last. They Compulsion Game, which is doing We Happy Few, which showed a trailer.
By the way, how's that work now?
They removed. You don't have to play the game with survival elements, so it can.
No, it's just it's a multiplayer game. Are they withdrawing the multiplayer, or are they going to keep
probably
status? Because it is a multiplayer. It was
probably they probably will just pull it back.
Oh, okay,
and just say it won't drop on PlayStation anymore, and just leave it on PC and whatever it's called, PC and Xbox. But the big one, the one that was actually surprising, Microsoft now owns Ninja Theory.
Yeah, that's interesting.
What?
That is very interesting because now well, you know what that makes me think, right?
What?
You're gonna get your Scalebound.
Ooh,
Scalebound is gonna come back because they're the studio close enough to platinum, probably, in their designs that they can do it.
For those that are wondering, because I know some people may not know, the most recent title that they dropped that was really good by Ninja Theory would be Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, an amazing game that I played at the very top of this year, that I made the statement, and I hold to the statement, would have been my game of the year last year had I played it. 100%, it is an amazing experience that I recommend anybody playing with headphones as they kind of direct. But beyond that, they made DMC Devil May Cry, Enslaved Odyssey to the West, and to PlayStation fans out there, Heavenly Sword. So it looks like Heavenly Sword won't be making a return anytime soon, if ever.
Or is it? Because again,
Sony could just give it to another studio. That's true.
They got enough assets.
But they are now owned by Microsoft. And this is where I think it shows Microsoft's vision forward, saying like, hey, kind of like what we were talking about, Black, where you and I had this conversation, and I was saying like, yo, Microsoft's, this is their PlayStation 3. This is Microsoft's PlayStation 3. And Microsoft, when they're like, hey, we don't have first-party studios. Well, what do? Go buy some talented motherfuckers. Find some people that can make good ass games and pay them to make good ass games.
Yeah.
That's how you bolster your first party titles. That's how you, when you look at Sony and you see Santa Monica and you see Naughty Dog, and I'm trying to think of other first party Sony titles. I mean, the general Sony ones. Who am I missing? Who makes Gran Turismo?
Oh, Polyphony.
Who else is there? There's a bunch of them.
Yeah, Polyphony, Naughty Dog, Sony Santa Monica, Sony San Diego.
But you like
Sucker Punch.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of studios that are making Sucker Punch. Yeah, there's a lot of studios that are making a lot of games. But they were brought into the fold. Black hinted at it. Crash Bandicoot was a thing. Sony was smart enough to say, come on board. I'm still surprised that Sony didn't buy fucking Insomniac, but that's a completely different conversation.
Oh, no, they actually were.
For a little bit, and then...
But what's his name didn't want to sell.
Oh, okay. That's
it was the guy in charge.
Japan Studios. There's a bunch of, like, Sony owns a bunch, but that's how you really make first party titles. Most of these major developers, Microsoft isn't putting out a bunch. Microsoft had Coalition, which is basically them buying the Gears IP from Cliff Bleszinski and Epic.
Yeah, and just getting a bunch of people to make Gears.
343, which was them buying the Halo property from Bungie.
Yep, and getting them.
Unfortunately, Microsoft has this bad thing of the companies that make the game eventually want to make something different, but they'll give over the license. Or Microsoft writes a contract where they can keep the license.
Yeah, either that or they'll just disband the company.
Yeah.
Like Lion.
That's the big thing. Microsoft, please don't disband these companies. These are like developers that people care about. You will get a lot of shit.
I feel like the Ninja Theory team has a Bungie type deal where it's like, yeah, we'll do this, but we're not like going anywhere as a company.
I don't know, because they said bought.
I don't think they bought them. Because I honestly think that the thought before Bungie decided they were gone was that Microsoft actually owned them. And then people realized they don't. So I don't know if they had.
But I don't think they ever said, like, it's kind of like they never addressed that they didn't own Bungie. This is like you getting on stage saying you own a company publicly.
Man, I own you.
That sounds a lot worse. We Happy Few is coming out on August 10th. And it got We Happy Few was one of those games that fucked up pretty bad. They had an amazing story-based story trailer, released the game in the early access. It was found out that it was a survival game. They have since pulled back those mechanics where you don't have to use them if you don't want to. But they once again get back on the right train by dropping We Happy Few and showing more of the story in the world, which has always been compelling and has always been the best part of the game, or what drew a lot of people in. And the August 10th release date, the August 10th release date, we'll see the story, and I can't wait for it. It looks interesting. It looks dark. It looks like negative.
Yeah, I always wanted to try it out, but I wasn't going to pay to try it out when they had that release.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll have a beta or something so I can try it out on PC.
It should be first party Microsoft Game Pass. Get it the day it comes out. $10 a month. Or a free 14-day free trial if you haven't used it yet.
Good on that, and I'll discuss my feelings on that.
Now, lines in the sand have been drawn officially, Black. Did you realize that?
Not really.
The lines have been drawn officially. PlayStation has Fortnite. And with a console launch exclusive, PUBG seems to have sided with Microsoft on the Xbox One.
Which is a bad narrative by Microsoft.
Because
they're known for that. They're known for the bad narrative, though. You know why it's a bad narrative, right?
I mean, I have my own opinions why it's a bad narrative.
Oh, well, the official reason why it's a bad narrative is because it's been known publicly that part of the reason why PUBG isn't on Sony is because when they saw the original console build, Sony was like, no, fix your shit. And Microsoft was like, we don't care.
See, I was going to go with the fact that it runs like it ran at one point. It doesn't run. It ran at one point at like 5 FPS on PlayStation.
And that's why Sony snubbed them, and now they're taking their ball. Because Sony was like, I don't want this shit.
That's fine. That's fine. All you have to count on is that, and they showed a couple of new things. We're going to get a new winter map, it looks like, as well as there's a new game mode called Ward Mode, along with 3 maps that already exist in PUBG. So, yeah, more PUBG content coming to the Xbox One first, which is fine. Didn't need to spend a lot of time on it. I think that's fine. Moving on, another world premiere. Sony then looks to all you JRPG fans. They are remastering Tales of Vesperia.
It's funny.
And bringing it to the West. You
said Sony. It's Microsoft. I know. It looked like a Sony-ass game, though, didn't it?
You would not expect a JRPG.
Yeah, but I was looking at it, I was like confused. Like, y'all.
I was like, we are weeping the fuck out right now.
It wasn't exclusive, so.
Yeah, it's just coming, I believe, first. No, it's a world premiere. You're right. So we're getting Tales of Vesperia this winter. Another world premiere. So this world premiere was pretty interesting, Black, because I thought it could go one of two ways. When I first heard the talking, Splinter Cell. When I saw the writing,
that too.
When I saw the writing, I was like, oh.
But that shows you
It is
just
multiplayer blackjack, by the way.
that shows you though just how similar Ubisoft assets are, which
Bro,
is
like when
because it could have been Splinter Cell the way they framed it.
100%. Like the way that they were talking about like how it's the most like tell me why like the entire time where they're like it is the single most defended city blah blah with this many officials. I'm like, so we're gonna be but then I had to think about, didn't they already do the whole Sam Fisher versus Washington? But does it matter? Because does anybody really matter and care that much beyond the diehards?
Probably not. I mean, and if you to be quite honest, it's okay in this sense because these are Tom Clancy games, and Tom Clancy games sort of kind of
all sound the same,
and they sort of kind of share the same universe in some aspects. You know, there's that the thin veiled line where it's like, yeah, this is its own, but it could be just like you saw in the Ghost Recon game. Didn't they have Sam Fisher actually?
Yeah,
in the last Ghost Recon. So yeah,
which is why people think that he's coming back as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually the trailer gets to talk of a virus, and it becomes clear that this is the Division 2. Microsoft again gets to show off the gameplay world premiere before Ubisoft tomorrow, which I think means Ubisoft is definitely going to bank hard on Beyond Good and Evil 2. If you're not really showing off Division 2 super,
I would take that. Plus, you know, Ubisoft's got something new coming.
Oh yeah. They've been like you said, they drop a new IP. But Division 2 looks cool. I still need to play through Division 1, but what I've heard through the Twitter space is that it looks all right, and I just got my fucking email. Can I read this really quickly, by the way, Black?
Uh-oh.
We have received a new release date information related to your pre-ordered video game in the order you placed on June 16, 2013.
The fuck?
It's my Kingdom Hearts pre-order. I've had it pre-ordered since it went up. And they literally are telling me that it comes out January 19th.
Oh, Amazon.
They literally had hit me with the like, it has been 5 years since you pre-ordered this game almost to the day.
God damn, sir.
And here's the actual release date.
That's funny. Well, you're happy now.
Oh yeah, I'm super happy. But Division 2, back to that. It looks better. It looks like they took a lot of the criticisms and have made a lot of improvements. Fun fact that I'm going to toss out there right now. Going forward, if you see a new IP and you're unsure if you like it or not, don't buy it. Unless you are really ready to support it. Buy the second version of it. As long as Ubisoft can do what they did from Watch Dogs 1 to 2, Division 2 will be a great game. If you don't like Destiny, and you don't like Division 1, do not buy Division 2 because it looks like Division 2. There's a beta also currently up for the Division 2. You can sign up if you are interested, so go do that. Oh, Division 2 comes out March 19th, 2019, by the way.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, add that to the
March
slaughter.
50th, March 15th.
Yeah. Add that to the, like, early years, like, fucking wallet slaughter. Okay.
I just happened to read that on the site for the sign up, like, the 15th of March.
Hey, y'all want to talk about there's no games?
Yeah, that's why I need people to shut the hell up. Like, I'm good with like having one game every 2 to 3 months. I do not need to consistently have years where there's a game coming out every week to 2 weeks.
Yeah, if I got paid to play games for a living, it would be a different story.
If I got given to play games for a living.
Yeah, or that too. It's like it's a different story. If I was some big, okay, I would probably have no excuse because that's all I do is play games. But I actually go to school. I got a job. You know, trying to be sociable out here.
Yeah, and
ladies out there. Come on, man.
It's like a good first world problem to have, but it's frustrating.
Yeah, because you're turning around. Like I was talking to my boy Try Guy, and shout out to him. And he treated me how like his backlog is like at least 35 games at this point. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty much the same.
My backlog is a decade deep. And I will never be able to beat it because every single year we get more games And it's the idea of if I ever play a game like Persona, which is 100 hours, I guarantee you 5 other games will come out that I want.
God, fuck.
What?
Persona.
Oh yeah, just the story is 100 hours, which is
I know. That's why I've been tentative about starting it.
Like, but yeah, it's not a live demo, but they have a little thing. Microsoft, make sure to bring in the cringy online gamer talk. Oh, for those that don't know, Division 2 is set in DC.
Yay, I get to like blow up my city. For those that don't know, I live like 5 minutes from you. Lie.
Government, he means in a video game.
Well, to be fair, the city's already fucked with playing the game, so I can't do much more damage than what they showed. I thought it was really cool they showed the National Zoo, by the way. I was like, oh shit, they really got it. They are in DC.
Yeah. But it looks good. I would recommend checking out that gameplay as well.
Did you mention the beta?
Yeah, I said the beta. You can sign up for it now.
Sign up for it right now. I recommend it, so you can at least check it out.
Yeah, and please try it if you're not sure, because The Division is not a game that I would say just randomly buy. It's one of those games that you should try before you buy. But if you were interested, Microsoft came out then and said that it is on their game. It's joined their Game Pass, so $10 to try it out, or a free 2-week trial to try out the first Division, and the second one should just be an improvement upon it.
Yeah. By the way, I think the Division is like $10 anyway. So.
Oh yeah. I have the base game, and I believe some of the DLC actually.
Yeah, these are probably really cheap too. So.
But the Division, Fallout 4, and Elder Scrolls Online are all available via Xbox Game Pass. But they have a bunch of other stuff that is coming. Outer Wilds, After Party, Warhammer Vermintide, Below, Fridge Wars, Conqueror's Blade, Waking, Raji and Epic, an Ancient Epic, Super Meat Boy Forever, Islands of Nine, Sable. So many games are coming out that you will be able to play with the Game Pass. It's worth the $10 a month. Microsoft's one of the major developers. So I would recommend, if you have $10. To those that don't have a lot of money, I think the best course of action would be save up as much money as you can. And unless you have very specific games that you want to buy, pick a developer or two and choose to support them, so that you can ultimately have a bigger catalog as a whole to play. Especially if you're on PC, you don't have to pay for Beyond Your Internet, so look to a couple of those services to really help out. We then got Shadow of the Tomb Raider. How are you feeling about Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Black?
Oh, it looks good. I mean, the Tomb Raider games overall have been solid, so yeah. It looks dark though. This one looks like it's gonna be fucking dark as shit.
Do you like the immortal Lara Croft?
She's really not immortal. I mean, good Lord.
She the shit that she goes through and walks away from.
She'll walk away whole. That's for sure.
But
she don't walk away.
She not dead though.
I mean, shit. God damn! Like, if there's ever a person who needs, like, you know, I don't know what the fuck she needs. Like, nothing can help her in her life.
But no,
that's what she needs to do.
And for those that may have forgotten, Shadow of the Tomb Raider is another one of those September games that we have this year, which is God.
Yeah, that's September 7th, and then September 14th is Spider-Man.
And there's something else beyond Spider-Man, I believe.
Shit.
There's something else. Sure. I'll look it up.
If it ain't known, it's going to be known, but in the next 2 days. So
I don't think I'm leaking anything, mainly because I can't think to leak anything. No, Spider-Man is the 7th. Tomb Raider is the 14th.
Okay, it's the other way around.
NBA comes out between them.
Cardiac.
NBA comes out between them. Code Vein drops. FIFA 19 drops. All in that month. So there's still room for a big game to drop in September. So expect something. Oh, Destiny.
The 14th, right? No, when?
Destiny Forsaken release date is I normally would know this, but I definitely like my mind is just definitely. You just stop. Can you give me the release date? It's September something.
Maybe it's the 9th.
I feel like it might be. I feel like it might be the 9th. Does Destiny release DLCs usually on the Friday or the Tuesday?
It did Destiny this year on a Friday.
So maybe. Release date reveal. IGN save us. IGN save us. September 6th. No, that's last year.
Okay, we're good. We're good.
It's September.
September 4th is when that comes out. So 3 days before fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I mean, I know which one I'm playing.
Spider-Man.
I'm playing both of them.
I mean, you can do both. That's the funny thing.
I'm gonna play both. Like,
I'm gonna binge Destiny, the 4th, 5th, and the 6th, and then
like 7th. Black will tell you.
I know.
Black will tell you like what's gonna happen with Destiny. Well, they're gonna give me 36 or not 36, but 72 hours to play it before Spider-Man comes out, so I can get a good 25 hours in.
Yeah, you'll beat the campaign.
I'll beat the campaign and start leveling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's coming out, and then we get this hard cut to all those looking for Skate 4. Microsoft doesn't have it, but they have a game called Session.
Before you say this, let me say that everybody I know who like wants Skate 4 was going nuts, putting up crying emotes and all of that, and then you get to the end and this shit says Session. Who was it by the way?
Hey, let me check. But you know what I wish they would have done is had the reveal be slower, and so they just have the S on screen for a little bit, and then the word comes out.
If they would have just did the S and then like slowly faded in the rest of the letters, people would have fucking lost their shit even more.
Create creature. Wait, okay, Black. I have something for you.
What?
You Google Session. It was a Kickstarter game.
Are you serious?
That raised 163,000 of its 80,000 Canadian goal. So it almost doubled its goal. But yeah, I'll link it right now, both in chat.
It's funny. I just pulled up the wiki.
Here, this is the actual, like, I dropped it in the thing. The actual 100%. Apparently, it was a Kickstarter game that Microsoft. Oh, shout out to I believe I gotta talk to Mav about this.
So it is a Microsoft exclusive then.
I have to talk to Mav about this because I remember Mav Attack Official, shout out to him. He played, I think they had a alpha or something like that. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Whatever. He had an alpha or something like that.
That's interesting.
So yeah, there's that game.
And this builds another thing I have to mention once we're done with this.
Oh, no problem. But yeah, you have Session, so a skateboarding game coming to a
Xbox One and PC
near you. Then Microsoft has another game, Black Desert. We're getting an RPG.
Yeah, I guess instead of Black Desert Online, you're gonna get a regular Black Desert.
The game looked dope. I'm not gonna even lie.
I don't know if it's just a regular Black Desert or it's just Black
I don't.
And they're trying to say it's Black Desert Online.
It definitely made me want to try out Black Desert Online.
That's the thing. They're saying that there's going to be an open beta soon. So
they're making me want to, check out Black Desert because that looked really dope.
Yeah, I just looked it up just to see, and IGN says, yeah, the Black Desert MM ORPG beta gets. So it's Black Desert Online, basically.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah,
that's dope. I can't wait, actually. And then Microsoft. This is where I started tweeting out consistently every 5 to 10 minutes or so. How much money did Microsoft invest into this conference? Because are these exclusives? No. But you're getting to debut these games.
Yeah.
And you are not currently the leader in the space.
Yeah. But they got the pull, I guess. I mean, they have the cash flow. It's Microsoft. Microsoft's not a broke company.
Devil May Cry has returned.
I was quite surprised to see a Devil May Cry.
After all the times it's been rumored, Devil May Cry 5 is a reality. And it is. Man, it looks good. You're going to have Old Man Dante, Virgil, and it looks like Nero in the game. It looks good. It's by the original creator. And y'all will get what y'all wanted. Y'all asked for it, and it's back. It looks flashy, cool, nice, and I cannot wait to check it out. How do you feel about Devil May Cry?
Cool. Devil May Cry has always been a cool property. I mean, that's just that style of action adventure has always been cool, and they do it well, you know.
Yep.
And it's funny because, by the way, the one Devil May Cry that nobody likes, oddly enough, was made by Ninja Theory, which
it wasn't a bad game. People just didn't like the look of Dante.
Just didn't like emo
Dante.
I guess.
I love that they kept the hairstyle the same in this game. By the way,
yeah. At first, I was like, "Huh." I wonder if this is like gonna piss people off, but I don't think it will. I mean, hey, it's Devil May Cry. Y'all know y'all like it, so go get it. Shit.
This is the true sequel to Devil May Cry 4, which is dope. So Devil May Cry is out there. Next up, we got an expansion for Cuphead coming out in 2019. Shout out to my peoples out there. Fuck that game. I still haven't finished it, nor I'm gonna play it eventually. But you know, fuck this game. Tunic is another game that they showed off, which was kind of interesting, looked kind of cool, especially towards the end where shit got crazy as fuck.
Yeah, with the montage and all the like, just quick hits.
Just the angel with the wings and the brightness and the whatever it was. Look cool as well. And then even more games. So, what do we have next? Bandai Namco had a reveal.
Yeah, Jump Force, which basically
Waves rejoice.
Every anime fan, go nuts! You are getting a console fighting game that will feature.
Well, so I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I know.
Joysticks. Yeah,
I heard about because I asked my boy, who's a anime person. Me personally, I'm not. I'm old and have missed the wave of the black anime.
No, I think you can always get into it. I give you recommendations and you just don't listen.
I'm only curious to see a couple of things that people have told me about, like One Piece, which oddly enough is going to
it's too no.
Do what? What? It's going to hurt me.
It's too long and don't. I will give you a lot of shorter things that are a lot. No.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
One Piece is like 700 episodes and it's still going.
Oh, never mind.
Exactly. Nah, I don't tell people to watch.
Yeah, give me something short burst. Like I'll go watch One Punch Man all day.
Yeah. But it's Jump Force currently. Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and One Piece are on the screen. They end with Death Note characters. It seems almost like a 3D fighting game evolution of J-Stars, which is really cool.
Yeah, I heard it was like a DS game or something.
Was Jump Force? I don't know about that. That's dope.
Let me look what my boy messaged me because I hit him up. It's like, well, what's this anime thing?
J-Stars was a 2D fighting game that existed for a long time, and yeah, it's a fighting game, so it's a mashup fighting game, and it looks like they're taking it to the 3D space, like a lot of the Naruto.
Okay, yeah, he said they started as DS games called Shoe and Jump, and then they went from
So
there.
that's where the Jump comes from. Is the Japanese magazine where a lot of these, what eventually become anime, but is manga game popularity is a manga called Shonen Jump.
Okay.
So yeah. And then I'm trying to see if there's anything else. We got through there. They have, like I said, Death Note, Naruto, One Piece, and Dragon Ball Z. Then we cut to Dying Light 2, which nobody expected.
Yeah, that was a swerve right there.
Again, another reveal that you just didn't expect. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm happy that I guessed it, and I guessed it the weirdest way possible. By the way, Blythe, based on the architecture of the buildings in the background, I was like, that looks like buildings from Dying Light. What the hell?
You know, it's funny because I didn't catch on until I think I saw Mav's tweet, maybe, or someone else say maybe it was yours. Because I remember, shout out to Mav Attack, by the way. I'm sorry, we're gonna still talk about E3 on Twitter. You just gonna need to either stay off the fucking Twitter or join in on the fun. So stop crying. All right.
It's like Dying Light 2 looks dope. They added a layer of choice and they allows the dynamic affecting of the world, which is really cool. And again, I cannot wait to see this game. The first one was one of those games I finished in a week and put 40 to 50 hours in. And I just will tell people like, yo, like check it out. Like Dying Light is on point. It is dope as fuck.
Yeah, no, I'm interested in seeing the evolution because it seems like they're putting a lot more into it. Like the whole dynamic of which side you choose and all that, and how it affects what goes on in the city and how the factions interact and all that looks really, really cool. I'm glad they aren't just doing a copycat of the original.
Yeah,
but they're trying to like build on the world itself with this. So that's pretty dope. And I'm glad that that's a game that got to survive considering the place it came from and the way that Deep Silver, they were in limbo at some point and all that. So yeah, no, I'm glad. I'm very, very glad to see them like survive everything they went through.
Definitely. Battletoads was next.
Yeah, I was like laughing. I was like I said on Twitter, you finally justify that shit, huh, Phil? Took you a couple of years, but
God.
Yes,
3-player couch co-op.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
And other shit.
Okay. And I'm gonna say this now, people.
If you call your local GameStop, I'm fighting you.
Yeah, because it's Battletoads. Battletoads nostalgia is one of those games where it was like the novelty of what it was, knowing that it was just the straight Turtles ripoff on top of it, a bad game as well, is what made it so quote unquote charming, I guess. Because if you've ever played the original Battletoads, you'd be like, one, this game is impossible. These controls are horrible. Like the sequences, the fucking dropping down the tunnel sequences. Those are the dumbest things I've ever seen. Or the bike sequences. Like honestly,
they're unnecessarily frustrating.
The bike sequences on a fucking 16-bit console. No, 8-bit, because this was Nintendo. This wasn't even a fucking Super Nintendo game. It was a Nintendo game. 8-bit speeder sequences aren't cool. Not at all. Not at all. And that game was like dumb. You couldn't control the bike. You had to have the reflexes of a god to get through certain parts of that. It was just they built as much as we love Rare, that that should not be put in their beloved archives. I don't know why it's still. It's not a good game. It's so not a good game. But people want back to. So here you go.
Yep.
Enjoy that bullshit.
And then we kept. There's so much shit.
All right, so we're gonna have to blitz through some of the smaller.
Yeah. So we have a confirmation of the actual release of Just Cause 4. It's actually a thing. It's coming out.
Yep. Good on you, Walmart Canada. You called.
When did Just Cause? When is Just Cause? Didn't they give a release date for Just Cause 4?
Huh?
Didn't they give a Just Cause 4 release date? It's later this year because it was surprising to me that it was dropping this year, December 4th. Just Cause 4.
Which sounds about right. It's literally 2 years since Just Cause 3.
And then the troll began.
The troll.
They brought Rob Ferguson on.
Oh yeah. First, no, they didn't bring him on first. They showed a trailer.
They showed a trailer with ears popping up.
Yeah, you saw Marcus as a Funko Pop.
And then it opens up, and
Gears Pop.
Oh yeah, you take. My mind is
Gears Pop people, which is a mobile game.
Funko Pop Gears of War.
That's Funko Pop,
which looked like a battle royale game.
Yeah,
battle royale with Funko Pop's Gears of War.
Yeah, which okay, whatever. But I'm mad. That game, Well, while I don't need it to be a battle royale, I'm gonna need a console or PC Funko Pop version.
No.
I'm gonna need it. Honestly, Funko Pop. Listen to me now. Lego games are starting to spiral down. You got a market now with your Funko Pops. You can make Funko Pop games. You wouldn't play Funko Pop God of War? Tell me you wouldn't. That's what I thought.
I'm not. No, I wouldn't. Then
the
actual good game was announced. Then the actual good game was announced. Gears of War meets XCOM, which seems like a no-brainer, but it is really good. But Gears of War Tactics is a turn-based strategy game. Literally, it's Gears of War XCOM.
Yeah, basically. You know what? A better comparison: Halo Wars.
No, because Halo Wars is more like Halo Wars falls more into the RTS category. Like that was definitely like
you think it's just more of a.
I think it's turn based. I'm pretty sure they said turn based. Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully, playing that type of a game in real time would be the most stressful fucking thing ever.
Not if you're the what's his name?
We're not talking about EA anymore. Gears of War 5. God. Gears of War 5 was then announced after a little bit of trolling, which is really dope. We finally get a chance to see it, and they give a little bit insight into what the game is going to be about. It's following Kit and kind of her ties with the Locusts, which is cool. And we definitely see some Locusts, and it's a very weird, and it looks like a far more personal story this time around, like super personal.
By the way, it did piss people off because you had a grill. You're playing as a grill.
I feel like it didn't. It only it does and it doesn't. Like
I saw a couple of people one time. I was like, "Wait, you gonna play as this girl?" They're still there. I think they're probably being a lot more quiet because they know they're gonna get it.
It's a fucking video game character. Shut up. All right, cool. That's the conversation that needs to happen. Play the fucking game and enjoy yourself.
Like, why does it matter if the protagonist is a girl?
Because people are fucking assholes. I'm not a good that to me is like I'm trying to give y'all credit for being normal people, and it's like she's a girl, and like the fact that you buy into that, just please stop. But please stop.
You can't have grills.
And then Spencer gets back up on stage to end the show, and the stage closes with no other announcements because Microsoft already spent all of their money.
No, but wait, there's something wrong with the audio and visual stuff on stage. What's going on, people?
Fucking and
I saw that and I started laughing. I was like, okay.
It has been exactly 2,077 days since this game was debuted.
Are you serious?
Yes. They tweeted out about it. They even tweeted out about it to say
CD Projekt Red, y'all are fucking.
It has been exactly 2,077 days. It has been 5 years. January 13th, 2013. Or January. It was like January. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's been like 5. It's been over 5 years. January 16th or something.
That makes me not even be mad for the whole bullshit. Like
2,077 days later, we get our first CG full trailer of Cyberpunk 2077, which looks dope as fuck.
Yeah. I only ask 2 things from you, CJ. You know, you fix the combat mechanics.
No, just leave them as jank as before.
Or you just make brand new game mechanics.
They're going to.
Long as it's nothing like any Witcher game combat mechanics.
I don't think it will be.
Yeah, please. I don't need the Witcher combat mechanics. They're horrible.
But they also did some smart things. So those game keys, Black, that were shown on screen briefly, it turns out they were the Witcher 3 with all the expansions. A few people got them and then posted online.
Really?
Yes. Those were all real keys that got you the Witcher 3 with all the expansions on Xboxes.
Sons of bitches.
On Xboxes, though. It wasn't on every platform.
I would have just took a key
which is really dope, and I do give them credit. And that was Microsoft. Microsoft, thank you for getting rid of the bullshit politics of the console war. Even though you had a full
technically they kind of did keep that in.
I mean, the exclusive
his speech at the end.
Oh yeah, there's a new Xbox being.
Yeah, made. He made mention that yes, they're going to they're developing a new Xbox, so they're not getting rid of the hardware yet.
But I even think beyond that,
which the whole thing with their bringing the cloud gaming service. And all that, and of course, he said his thing, the best place to play, blah yada yada yada. See, but it wasn't that. It wasn't bad. It wasn't.
I feel like that's just normal spiel shit.
Yeah, it was. It was more of a we're listening kind of like we're doing what we need to do. It wasn't the normal Xbox rigmarole that you got in years past. So
all I need y'all to do is say the words exclusive less, and you're fine.
Yeah, because I get tired of hearing the exclusive thing only because
you've killed so many. With alcohol poisoning.
Okay, and this is where I need to go into the whole part where I gotta get off my thing. I love the Microsoft conference as a whole, but I can't help but keep seeing their stuff as a bunch of hyperbole. Because we've had these like big announcements. And again, this isn't the first time within this generation that they've made this promise of all these studios. Now, this is probably going to stick harder because instead of developing studios, they actually got 5 existing studios. And I don't think that they're going to disband those studios because I honestly think these studios have Bungie type of contracts with Microsoft. I don't think they necessarily own them.
Yeah.
But so I don't think we're going to see these studios get wiped off the face of the earth like we saw like of the 15 studios that Microsoft announced when they originally talked about the Xbox One. How many are gone? You have Coalition, you have 343, Rare. I think that's it.
Yeah, they're pretty much gone.
Yeah. So it's like good. I love what I heard. I still need you to make me believe it, and that's the problem with Microsoft. Microsoft has built this position, at least for me. You say it, but I need you to actually do it. It's kind of like how you were saying with the whole Kingdom Hearts thing. So
I get a release date for that game. It didn't exist.
It's not a reality. So.
And even still, I'm
it promises. And you know, they showed one game that, again, I know you say get over it, but that game is the poster boy for broken promises of Microsoft, Crackdown 3. So,
like, and that's the weird thing, I guess. I get where you're coming from. I think my appreciation of the conference comes from the standpoint that because Microsoft is in such a losing position, they still give the PR bullshit. Just like all the companies inevitably do. They just give out PR. Like, they're not 100% honest about. Tomorrow, Sony's going to show off 4 games, and they're going to have to find some way to make those 4 major things, plus whatever other announcements they have. They're going to be people that are going to spin it as like, yo, this is whatever. The thing I appreciate about Microsoft lately has just been the past few years, Microsoft things, we're just going to show you fucking video games over and over, just 2 hours of video games. And there's something just for me to appreciate in saying, I love them. Like, I love the idea that you're not even going for like stereotypical video games. You're anything and everything of every genre, from a strategy game all the way down to your normal shit. You're showing it all. And that appreciation is, I guess, the direction that they seemingly have headed. Like, just keep showing games. I've had a conversation with people where they're already saying like, yo, but why would I want to buy an Xbox One? Like, why does it matter? If you feel like they don't have the games to show you to make you want to buy the console, then don't buy it. My thing has always been like, I just want good video games and interesting looking video games. And this Microsoft conference reminded me of being a kid watching E3, where you don't necessarily understand all the PS4 or Xbox console or bullshit when you're a kid. You just are happy to see like, yo, that looks fucking cool. That looks dope. Yo, that game is amazing. I can't wait for that to come out. I can't wait to play that. I can't wait to check that out. And that was the convenience that Microsoft paid me once they said that all of their first-party games are coming to PC.
And that's another thing. That's my other thing. It's like, one is the hyperbole. The second, I find it weird that the narrative around Microsoft with their exclusives is generally a higher tone than other people, only because they have a lot of independent games in their exclusivity. And people have been killing Sony for years with their dedication to the independent scene. And they've killed, you know, to a much lesser extent, Nintendo as well. When Nintendo starts to like release
indie I think games, people still do that. Like, I think what happened is Sony beat that narrative out. Like, Sony showed a bunch of good indie games. Microsoft has had their fair share of good indie games as well. Limbo.
I feel like people are more negative towards Sony and Nintendo than they are not Microsoft with it.
I don't think so anymore. I think when the PlayStation 4 first came out, it was more of that narrative, but it's not so much anymore. It still annoys the shit out of me that when I see PlayStation giving out XCOM 2, people are like, what the fuck is this game?
Yeah, and I know.
And it's like, or like some indie game comes out and they're like, why would I want to play this?
This indie station free shit. Like, you don't even know if the game's good or not. You just fucking.
But I don't think that's.
They don't have like a $60 or $50 million budget. Don't mean that this game is trash. What?
I just feel like those people don't care. Like, the arguments there are indicative not of like a specific. I don't feel like they get harder. Like, I don't feel like PlayStation gets a harder rap for its indie shit. Because even now, like, the thing about Microsoft is still that Microsoft doesn't have exclusives. People don't even acknowledge their fucking exclusive indie games. Because usually also they're on PC for the most part. Like, Microsoft, I just feel like Microsoft's the loser, and so it kind of skips by on some of the hate. People are already like, well, Microsoft's already losing. They expect more out of Sony and Nintendo. Whether that's right or wrong, that's another conversation.
And maybe that's the thing, because it's very, very weird that they don't get flat. I mean, I'm glad they don't get flat because you shouldn't. It's a game. Yeah. It looks fantastic. Who the fuck cares if they like?
I just said it. Look, if you have a game that you love and you feel like you don't want to play indies, cool. Play your game and shut the fuck up. You should not watch a 2-hour-long conference expecting it to be the majority about your game. We're past the days about where we have to just watch Call of Duty for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
On fucking screen. Thank God we're past that point.
I know. Gaming has grown, thankfully. But yeah, I mean, their shit was on point. It was definitely on point. Like I said, I just worry, that they're not going to make good. I hope they make good. That's my only thing.
I just think that they're not trying to say that, hey, like Xbox is the best way to play, but also the better way to do that is, hey, we're about gamers.
Yeah.
We're not about fucking any of this other shit. We're about gamers, ultimately. We just show off games, and I will be thoroughly enjoying. Like, I've made the joke all the time, is that, like, when people think the idea is that, like, oh, you sold your Xbox One. If PlayStation let me play my games on my PC, it's going out the door just as quick.
Yeah, a lot of people would.
People don't get the, like, and I actually appreciate Microsoft more for having the balls and the willingness to allow me to play it on the platform of my choice.
I get it.
I mean, I agree. Like, when it comes down to it, I think it's the idea of they recognized they were losing on the console front and they had to do something. It's kind of like if I'm going to relate it to a war, Black, if you're losing on the Eastern front, try someplace else. Right? If you're losing on one front, don't fight in the place where you're losing. They were losing the PlayStation all over the board. All right, don't target them. Target the people on PC, which you still need to fix the Microsoft Store, but that's completely again. There's a lot of issues.
Windows gaming. Gotta love it.
But we are coming up and running up on the time when Bethesda is going to be running.
They'll be coming in a half an hour.
In a half? Is it 9:30? I thought it was not. Oh yeah, it is 9:30.
9:30.
I guess as a way to close it out, Black, what would you give Microsoft in terms of a letter grade?
A. If you want to give them an A+, I would agree with that too. They were solid. They had a really, really solid show. And I think it's an A for me because it's kind of like you. It's not that I'm excited about what's coming to Xbox, but more so I'm excited about what I can have a choice of getting on PC. As for the last couple of years, I've said this, and I'm going to continue to say it. Nothing Microsoft does from this point on makes me want to get an Xbox One.
Yep.
It's knowing that they've given a lot of us who have wrangled over the which console or should I get both consoles and out. And I appreciate that because now I can enjoy everything that I didn't enjoy before if I want to, if it's something that interests me, without having to go buy another piece of hardware to experience it. So, yeah, cool. Thank you.
You hit it on the head. I will, from a personal standpoint, I will give them an A+. To put it very simply, Black hit it on the head. What I got to witness today was basically 2 hours of games that I can play regardless. There is not a situation where any of those games you will not be able to play them. It's all a matter of where do I choose to play them. Before it comes to any bit talking about like what the game is. Microsoft did that. They brought out their heavy hitters. They have shown that they care about the future and are listening with the idea that, to those of you all out there, they bought 5 studios to try to make first-party games. Studios that aren't just shooter studios. They're known for other genres of games. Microsoft took the steps I've always felt to say, like, hey, we are learning as a company. We are only on our third console. In our only on our third console in something like what 20 years. But we are definitely learning. We're definitely growing as a brand.
Which surprised me considering the company that Microsoft is. But
and the fact that Microsoft has also made a commitment, like Microsoft has made a commitment to me as a PC gamer as well, to say like, hey, the Microsoft brand is still the brand of Windows, and we are going to fight for you, and we are planning just as much for you as our Xbox gamers. So yeah, Microsoft, good job. You are currently the conference to beat. And it's already started being talked about. Sony has to have some surprises if we're talking about who has the best conference. Sony because even if Microsoft didn't show just exclusives, they showed a lot. Like
they have to show something surprising to have the best quote unquote, only because they like, at least for me, I agree with you in that sense. But rationality is going to go out the window once Death Stranding is shown. We all know this, right?
Yeah, to those like Microsoft.
We know this is what's going to happen when they show Kojima, because people are just going to lose their shit.
It's the idea of Microsoft got their conference first and threw out a haymaker and it connected. So it's on Sony to make up the points. Sony's playing on a back foot because they went second, and Microsoft showed off a bunch of stuff. I think Sony can do it, because if there's any company that's proven the last few years that they can come up with something pretty surprising, Sony has been it. So we'll see what comes out tomorrow. And that's the issue. I feel bad for Sony. Like, Sony picks to go after every other conference.
I don't feel bad for them because only reason I don't feel bad for them because generally they always have a pretty decent conference. I can't think of in years, except for maybe the early PS3 years, where they have totally dropped the ball. They may not impress as big as others, but they don't leave people like hating them. So I mean, shit. Yeah, I really don't think I have any. Yeah, no. So they said you be all right. So they need to be all right. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I want to see how this plays out. But as have been the last few years of games at E3, it's a hell of a good time to be a gamer.
Yeah, it is definitely. Definitely. I guess that's it.
That's it. Bag it up, stack it up.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for coming through and watching this. We hope you enjoyed it. It was a good conference, and it's going to be interesting to see what Bethesda go and do this time around. Hopefully, they'll bring something other than just Fallout. And I guess what else is it that they got on the table? I guess Fallout 76 is kind of the only known element now for Bethesda. Like, the speculation is, a lot, but yeah, curious to see what they're going to bring. Anyway, we'll be back in hopefully an hour and a half, because if they try to do a 2-hour,
they better not. They fucking better not.
This time of night, I'm gonna be kind of mad, even though I don't have to go to work. I actually took E3 day off, quote unquote, E3 day. is the quote unquote, not the me taking off. I actually did put in vacation time for this. So no, I'm not going to be doing no nefarious shit. Don't get me fired for that, please. But yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what Tim Howard and all of them have to say. So any party words you have, sir, for the people before we close this up?
It is. Hey, I'm happy. E3 has already put me in a very happy mood.
Yeah. No. They only had to do one thing really to put you in a happy mood, to be quite honest. So you're good. You are good. Fucking goddamn, I'm gonna hold that release date back. 2019. Sons of bitches. Anyway. Thank you again for watching. Appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next conference review. All right, y'all. Peace.